Hello, welcome back to IT Landy. Um, this is the session for the ELK deployment to Azure. A quick recap to what was covered previously and what is this sort of mini nuggets or mini nuggets course about. We covered earlier what is the ELK stack, and then we covered the high level architecture, what they do, the components, how they look like in very simple term. And earlier we covered the high level again comparison between ELK and Splunk, and we said why log analysis is so important. For today, we will continue with the ELK architecture and deployment, and we'll see where we get by the end of this session. So, a quick recap to the architecture. We've seen this earlier. We said like we need data processing, we need storage, and we need to visualize the logs. So we spoke about Logstash, Elasticsearch, Kibana, and we sort of like covered these in like high level. We spoke about some data collection, beats, dependency, and why they call the ELK stack. I have we will cover today a little bit more around like some of the architecture or deployment. This is taken from the same source we highlighted earlier, the Guru 99, and you can see how it looked like for us. Again, it's copyright all the way under down. You can see the data collection, which is in this scenario it's a beat using the processing part, which is the Logstash, and then the storage, and then visualize. Same journey like what we highlighted earlier, but we've added beat here, or later on you can see Kafka or somewhere on the second screen. You see, while we're dealing with very large amount of data, you may need Kafka, maybe RabbitMQ for buffering and resiliency. And you can see how that will look like in our design. So to recap, if it's not very big ENT deployment, then there is no need for like clustering like Kafka or Radius. Okay. Again, it depends on the deployment. You can start with the basic one and you can expand around it whenever you need, which is the beauty of this tool. Other deployment for like you can see the beats combo for HA and how that will look like. Similar to the previous one, we can have like the beats with the age data collection, and we can have the input around it. For the Logstash, and you can see the port are required and the load balancing the scenario, how we can capture the syslog, IoT, network sensitive data, how we can basically expose NAT using proxy. Again, it does require the sort of like, if you are not up to speed with networking other stuff, it does require reaching out to maybe the right team um, to assist. Like when I say right team, like networking. However, you can see the presentation around this deployment, like from when I say like sort of you see DNS lookup and geo redundancy. You can see the nodes, master node, uh, ingest node, data nodes. Again, warm, cold, hot, all these terminologies around again high level or HA deployment. This is using a typical node balancer. If you want to go down the route like what we highlighted earlier, I've got something really enterprise deployed and I would like to expand around like multi geo deployment. So I can use, like we said, like Kafka or RabbitMQ, and you can see that what does that basically will add to my design. There's a plenty of information available on the link below, FileBits, and you can see how they basically, we took this from the website, and you can see the reference how they design it into this. You see the network security data, syslog server, infrastructure, app data, IoT sensors, all of these, and the beat, file beat, the win logs, metrics, packets, all fed through the big cluster Kafka, and basically send it across the Logstash storage, and then you see the persistence queue enabled or non-persistence, depend on the deployment. I mean, you've noticed here, are you talking about Kafka and RabbitMQ? However, others, can, I mean, with the Azure, this is what we are planning to utilize, and you can try the, like traffic manager, whatever Microsoft they offer, and you can see the Kibana presenting this across the nodes. This is again high level, different type of architecture. Doesn't mean you have to go down that route. You can always go down the route of basic deployment to start with, get yourself familiar with it, and then you go down the route of like option one, which is data collection via bits, processing to storage, and then to virtualize it via Elasticsearch, Kibana, and later on you can expand around it. Plenty of resources are available through, like, the web surf or Google or whatever. It could be Microsoft, I don't know, website as well around Azure, or you can do the open source. Now, these are sort of like a high level architecture we covered basically earlier. And now, what is the Elasticsearch? Let's recover the 3 points around these three, components, and then we will finalize it. Okay, so we said Elasticsearch, basically NoSQL database, flat files. It's based on license and search engine, and it's built with REST APIs. It offers simple deployment, maximized reliability. Also, I mean, the Elasticsearch allow you to store, search, and analyze big volume of data. It's mostly used as the underlying engine to empower application that basically complete search requirement. It has been adopted in search engine perform for like modern, like mobile apps, and I'll say web apps. Apart from the quick search, the tool will offer very complex analytics and many advanced features. It helps execute quick search for documentation to offer advanced queries to perform detailed analysis and stores. These are basically, I mean, I will say summary what Elasticsearch can provide, and some of the features or benefits, as we call it. It's an open source, it's written in Java, it's used to index the type of the heterogeneous data collection, it has REST APIs, web interface based on JSON, and full text search. I mean, again, it provides us with NRT search, like has a shredder replicator, schema free. This part of the benefit of Elasticsearch. This is all what I have for you for today. Next, we will continue against around disadvantages of the Elasticsearch. We go to the Logstash, and then we go to the Kibana, and then we will start the hands-on sessions around the deployment to Azure. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.